I have a new driving coach now. Jake French, I'm really sorry, but you've been replaced, bro.
I'm the better coach.
That's great. All right. Hey everybody, welcome back to Begin Again. Yeah, I've started off not so well. Got up at 5:15 this morning. Thought, okay, I can get out of the house in an hour and 15 minutes, make the hour and a half drive to DKC. Everything's good, be here about 8 o'clock. No, not really sure what happened, except that I probably needed to wake up at 4:15. I don't know. But anyway, I got here late. But the good news is we've got everything assembled, we're registered, we're ready to go. We missed the first 2 practice sessions, but I'll at least get 1 practice session in before we go into qualifying. Pretty excited about that, but I'm really excited to give this new track a tryout. Everybody's saying the grip levels are great. The track's super smooth, and there's actually some elevation changes, which honestly, you know, if you race in Texas, most of your tracks are just flat as a pancake. So this ought to be interesting. Looks like some banked corners. Yeah, it ought to be fun. We're also going to go and talk with some of our competitors and just get their opinions on what they think of the new track. So here we go.
I learned really fast that this track is super smooth, very nice flow to it. It's really quick and it's got really consistent grip. I really like it.
Okay. That was my first and only practice session. All I can say is, holy smokes, I was out there driving around going, which way does this track go? And in the meantime, everybody's going, past me like that. And it was like, maybe I made a mistake coming out here today. So, but yeah, let's see what happens. We're getting ready to go into the driver's meeting, and then we'll have qualifying, and then start our races. And what's really nice, of course, is we don't have to wait for the rental carts anymore. We can just, you know, go class after class after class. So that's going to be really nice and very much appreciated. So big thanks to Mike Jones and the guys here at DKC. They've really put in an amazing facility. It's going to be great.
One of the issues that we had to deal with was the fact that sod had not been delivered to the track yet, and so they weren't able to lay it down on the sides of the pavement, which meant that we had a lot of exposed rock and dirt, and so all you needed was one guy to drop a wheel off and you'd cover the track with all sorts of grit and grime. That's been fixed now, but it sure made things interesting for us.
Oh no! All right, so not a bad qualifying session. Made some big gains. Found out, as usual, Carlos Perez and I are turning almost identical lap times. I don't know, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We just seem to find each other on the racetrack. I don't understand it, but I guess similar skills is just, you know, whatever. So Carlos and I have made a deal. Whoever gets in front of the other guy at the start of the pre-final, the guy behind is just going to sit there and push him as hard as he can, and let's see if we can't help each other improve a little bit. So I like the track a whole lot better the second time out. Made some tire pressure changes, and that seemed to balance out the kart a little bit better. I like the handling balance now. You know, 8 laps around this track is you know, from a fitness perspective, it's definitely doable. The other thing I noticed is because of all the extra grip, I'm actually able to dial in more front brake bias, which you really need for turn 1. Holy smokes, man. We're going from about 71, 72 miles an hour down to about 25 and feels like about 50 feet. So heavy braking in there. It's really fun. So anyway, great track, and I'm liking it more every time I go out and drive it. All right, Braden, so here's the deal. I know that this is your first race on the Rock engine. Mm-hmm. What are you thinking?
It's a lot different with the low end because it doesn't pick up as fast, and
Not as much torque.
yeah,
Yep.
not much torque, and it has a lot more speed on top end, and it doesn't have it's in the power band, and it doesn't really have a limiter.
And what do you think of the track?
The track's very bumpy, but it's a fun track to
It
get
is.
used to.
Well, hey, listen, man. Thanks for the coaching after the race. I'm going to do my best to do what you told me to do. Let's see what happens, and we'll go from there. I have a new driving coach now, Jake French. I'm really sorry, but you've been replaced, bro.
I'm the better coach.
That's great.
That's a cool.
All right, that's a keeper right there.
Yep.
So I'm here with my buddy Carlos. It feels a little weird that Jack's not here
Yeah.
to tell us that we're too slow.
Too slow for him?
Yeah, right. I made the comment, Carlos, just by myself, that it always seems like you and I find each other on the track.
Yeah.
And it sort of looked like that on the grid. And then we had the big kerfuffle at the start.
Yeah.
And it was sort of like, where's Carlos? He's gone.
Yeah,
And I
I'm my
never-
best.
Yeah, well, I mean, and honestly, I mean, you pulled me. I mean, I think you were probably 2 or 3 seconds ahead of me at the
Right.
finish line. So, yeah, I never got that chance to like watch you or see what was going on or whatever. What are your thoughts about the track? Are you liking it or?
I'm liking it very much. I mean, it's a super quick track. I mean, it has a lot of grip, but it is really fun.
Yep.
There's some fast corners, and there's some places where you just go full
Tilt.
throttle. Yeah, so it is very fun. I like it. Well done to Mike and the team. So I love it.
Yeah.
Nothing else to say there.
Yeah, I was caught out a couple of times by the seams and the asphalt. I don't know if you noticed them where
Yes.
the asphalt spreader, I mean, there was just these little gaps and they're not quite the same height. And so it's, kind of does that
It
number
grips,
to you.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was really just trying to find some consistency and figure out what the lines were and all that. There's a couple of corners where I'm just kind of like, I have no idea how to
Yes.
take these corners.
Yeah, same here.
You know?
I'm having a little bit of issue with the brakes as well, so I don't have the full confidence just to hit it hard yet. So I'm lifting a little bit, and that's probably slowing me a little bit on top of my bad habits, right? But
If it wasn't for those barriers, I'm pretty sure I could land in Greenville.
oh, for sure.
So,
Yeah.
all right.
It's fun. Thank you for coming. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
having a
thank you.
blast,
I'm
so-
glad you're here. So maybe I'll at least stay a little closer to you in the final.
Sounds good.
All right, brother.
Take care.
Thanks.
Good to see you.
All right, here we go for another start, and once again, I blow it. I mean, let's just face it. When it comes to starts, I suck. And I got the wrong gear, and the cart's just bucking away, and it's just, I just lost so much time right in there. And by the time I came out of the second turn, everybody was gone, as you can see. So frustrating. And so I drove the race by myself. It was just another practice session. Let's figure out how to drive this track. Here's turn one, down into second gear after some really hard braking, up a gear, and then right back down a gear to the right hand, turn two, up a couple of gears through this chicane that I think all the other guys are probably taking close to flat out. Upshift in this corner. I didn't carry enough speed and kind of bogged it down, but this corner I think is a lot quicker than I was taking it. This chicane here, absolutely flat out. This is a fun corner here. It's a fast left followed by a pretty tight right that just starts opening up, and you just start grabbing gears and pulling a lot of G's through there. Poor old Chris Jennings, he got a gearbox full of neutrals, so he didn't finish the race. He was just standing on the sidelines watching me, probably laughing as I tried to drive this track. These last 3 corners on the track are super fast. That one there is flat. The last turn, flat in top gear, and here we are back to turn one, hard braking, downshifting 4 times to second gear. Really, really fun track, a very quick lap. And before you know it, the race was over.
So first time on this track?
It's good. It's definitely better than last time I was here. As long as you're there, I'm not gonna be last.
Exactly, thank you.
You know, I got you on the last lap and I was like, yes. I was like, ah. I mean,
Yeah.
but I thought, I mean, you let off because I was still kind of far. I
Yeah.
was like, ooh, I see him. Maybe I'll catch him.
Yeah. Yeah, it was funny because I was starting to get a little bit of fuel starvation, and it was sort of like, okay, I'm just going to try to get to the end. I just didn't put enough fuel in the tank, so I learned.
It happens.
Yeah, it was a little bit longer race, of course, and it's on a much longer track, and so I just miscalculated how much fuel I needed.
I know. Did Mike say how long this is?
3/4 of a mile.
3/4? Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. And there's that big bump right there before that, and it
Thank
just
you.
throws
Yeah.
you off.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's fun. Like the tarmac has lots of grip. I was just amazed that second to last turn. You're just like just throwing it in there and just hoping like you see the wall over there. I'm like, okay, hope it sticks. And
And it sticks.
No, I mean I'm happy today. Like first time on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't mess too much with the car, tried to tune the setup, but that was like first session out, did okay, then started shaving seconds, and then final was not good, because had a little incident.
Did you get caught up on that?
Well, yeah, I was right behind the guy who kind of didn't start, but yeah, I hit him, and then I was driving the rest of the race like this. So I was like, okay. I mean,
Woo. Well, that was fun. 10 laps around this place with all the fitness work that my coach Brenna has been putting me through. You know what? I'm really happy with my level of fitness. Now, I'm not so happy with my level of pace, but I never strung together a good lap. I'm still learning this place, and there's a lot to learn. It's a very technical track for a shifter kart. Had several of my competitors tell me the same thing, guys that were running top 2, top 3 positions. And they were all saying, yeah, there's a lot here on this track that you have to learn. So I don't really feel too bad about how I did today. It was fun. It's a great track. The grip is consistent everywhere. And I love the fact that we just, set a schedule and we ran on the schedule, and when we're done. So really great stuff. Mike Jones and the DKC guys have done a great job with this track. I know that there's going to be more and more races out here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked what you see, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the Begin Again channel, we'd love to have you join us. It always helps us out.
Go fast!